Hey, hello. So, around 9,000 years ago, during the early Neolithic, or the New Stone Age, humans made a major technological and cultural leap forward: the use of clay to make pottery. This invention changed daily life dramatically. Pottery was used for cooking, storage, and even rituals, and remains one of the most important archaeological sources of early civilizations to this day. This thesis discusses what people made at that time, where the most important sites were located, and the importance of pottery at that time. What did people make from clay? Well, people made different types of pottery depending on their needs. Storage pots, these were large pots used to store food, such as grain and water. As generations passed, the humble skill of shaping clay became a cornerstone of everyday living. People began making different pots for different needs. Storage jars, large and sturdy, stood in corners of homes filled with grain, seeds, or cool water. Cooking pots with thick walls and rounded bottoms nestled into open flames filled with bubbling stews. Cups and bowls were passed from hand to hand, holding milk, broth, or soft meals. Ritual vessels, carefully decorated, may have been filled with offerings or used in crimes in sacred ceremonies. Processing containers helped prepare food for drying seeds or grinding grain. So, what's really remarkable is that this story didn't unfold in just one place. Across the world, in different climates and cultures, people discovered the magic of clay. Often around the same time, they began planting seeds and settling into permanent homes. In the Middle East, in a village called Çatalhöyük in what is now Turkey, people filled their homes with simple pots and household tools. Not far away in Tel Hassuna, which is in Iraq, communities left behind pottery marked by modest decoration. These were signs of the Hassuna culture. In Jericho, one of the world's oldest cities, pottery finally appeared after an earlier pre-pottery phase. Far to the east, the Jomon people of Japan created pots as early as 14,000 BC, long before farming, impressing them with rope to make striking patterns. In China, the caves of Xianrendong and Yuchanyan have yielded pottery that's up to 20,000 years old, possibly the oldest ever found. In Europe, the Starchevo culture of the Balkans embraced pottery by 6200 BC, followed by the linear band culture, which spread the tradition across Germany, the Netherlands, and Poland. Even in the Sahara, where hunter-gatherers roamed what was once a green and fertile land, people made pottery in places like Tafaralt, Morocco, as early as 8,000 BC. Storage allowed families to save surplus food, protecting them from famine and enabling trade. Cooking in pots meant new kinds of meals: soft grains, stews, and broths that were easier to digest and share. Settled life became more practical. After all, you just don't carry clay pots through the forest. Decoration became a language of its own, markings that may have reflected status, beliefs, or community identity. We may never know the names of the people who shaped the first pots, but the clay remembers. Today, archaeologists still study these ancient vessels. Some still carry traces of burned grains or milk fat, telling stories of long-forgotten meals. Others are dated by their designs and shapes, helping scientists build timelines of human civilization. Interestingly, many of these pots have lasted thousands of years buried in the earth, a testament to their durability and importance. In fact, pottery is one of the most common artifacts from the ancient world. And it wasn't just for pots. Early humans also used clay to create figurines, symbols, and even bricks, giving form to both the practical and the sacred. So, the next time you sip tea from a ceramic mug or cook soup in a clay pot, think of her, the nameless woman crouched by the fire, smoothing coils of clay, shaping not just a vessel, but a legacy. Through pottery, our ancestors gave us more than tools. They gave us a glimpse into who they were and who we are. The development of clay and pottery around 9,000 years ago meant a huge step forward in the daily life of humans. Pottery made it possible to store and prepare food, which helped in the transition to an agricultural society. Moreover, pottery shows how people were already busy with art, religion, and social structures. The traces they left behind in the form of pots and bowls are indispensable today for understanding our earliest history. Thanks for watching. See you next video.